Apex live here in San Diego. My name is Trevor Galbraith, Editor-in-Chief at Global SMT and Packaging. And I'm joined by David Burford.
Hi, I'm David Burford. I'm UK and Ireland Editor, and
we're here to talk about the show.
We are here to talk about the show, yes. So what have we got new at Apex?
Well, quite a few new things coming up. I mean, just on the booth next to us, for example, BTU have got a really interesting reflow oven that has two lanes on it, which can work independently. So you can have like tin lead on one side and lead free on the other. The great thing about that is, of course, that you can have one job running while you're setting up the other. So you're going to have minimum downtime, that sort of thing. Then on the cleaning side, I think there's Kaizen's brought out an analyst system, which has, of course, everybody's saying the Industry 4.0, which basically means that you can extract the data off of it. Austin American have also made an upgrade to their Rose Tester in their cleaning system. And pick and place front, we've got new machines from Yamaha, Juki, Universal, and I'm sure Panasonic's got some new stuff there as well. So, and ASM are doing a tour, which is quite interesting. We're going to see that on day 3 actually. So it's quite a lot happening. Yeah, ask me a little bit about the show, the history of the show.
Yes. So, for our audience who don't know much about Apex, can you just give a bit of background, a bit of history on the show?
Well, I mean, basically the show started way back in 1983. It was a PCB show back in the beginning, that lasted for and ran in parallel, if you like, with NIPCON West. But when we got to 1994, SMEMA actually joined IPC. SMEMA is the Surface Mount Equipment Manufacturers Association, and that brought in the assembly side of the business. And so it was only a year or so after that these members started looking for a show of their own, basically, to represent them, because NIPCON West, of course, was getting bigger, but so were the costs. They did a deal with IPC, and IPC Apex was born, I think, in 1999. You know, that has been the history of it ever since.
So, in regards to the show calendar, how big is Apex in comparison to other shows that are on the calendar?
Well, it's definitely not the biggest, but here's the thing: it's probably the most influential.
Yes.
I mean, it's obviously close to Silicon Valley. A lot of the key decisions that affect manufacturing around the rest of the world are made here.
Yes.
So, not the biggest show, but certainly the most influential. That's pretty much it. So, who's our first guest today?
Well, we got with us our old industry colleague. Sorry about the old, but
no problem at all. Brutally honest, as always.
We got Keith Bryant with us. He is the president of the Smart Group back in the UK. Welcome, Keith.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you. So, Keith, obviously you're being brave enough to host a show later on today, starting at 12 o'clock.
And live. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. So you've got a few different guests on there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we've got a pretty eclectic mix, which is hopefully going to give the viewers plenty of interest. One of the guys that I'm looking forward to talking to is David Bennett, who runs the European division of Neartech out of the UK.
Okay.
And I want to talk to him a little bit about how he's seen things change after the Brexit vote, and how he thinks things are going to change within the future, because we're seeing a real mix of opinions still, even within our industry.
Right.
You know, we have people moving in, we have people saying, well, we're uncertain. Now we have recently Apple, after a meeting with the UK Prime Minister, say we're committed to setting up a huge operation out of London, hopefully taxed out of London as well. So these things should all be good. But it will be interesting to get his view on the sort of the coalface, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that some of the banks seem to be moving out, but a lot of the tech companies like Apple, as you say, and Google are moving in and buying up big real estate in the centre of London.
Yeah, well, obviously the dollar to sterling is helping the influx, and the lower price of the pound, which we think it's going to stay probably get up to about 118 and then probably stay there. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge advantage for anybody who's manufacturing in the UK. So yes, there's a lot of stuff moving in. I don't really understand the logic of the banks saying that possibly they're going to move out, because a low-cost manufacturing base is a low overheads base by definition. So
that is true.
And obviously we're not going to break off every tie with Europe, because we can't afford that and Europe can't afford it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, so it's interesting times, but it looks like it's starting to make its way through Parliament, so that'll be good.
Yeah, that's going to help us all.
Who else are you going to be speaking to?
I've got a few other people on my list. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to talk to Gary from Vitrox, mm-hmm. because it's a very important time for them, well, for all inline X-ray companies at the moment, with the situation where the 5DX is no longer going to be supported this year. Yeah. I mean, that's going to make a quantum change to the whole of the industry, because with the normal state of affairs, shall we say, everybody's waited till the last minute. Mm-hmm. And I think this year there's going to be an amount of, possibly not panic, but at least an amount of fast decisions need to be made about the future. Right,
great. Well, we look forward to it. We wish you the best of luck with your first show, and we'll look forward to catching up with you later.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So, thank you to Keith. Our next guest coming up is Mario Scalzo. He's the Senior Technical Support Engineer at Indium Corporation, and he's here to talk to us about a really new program they have called Live at Apex. This is a partner program where they're working with a number of partners around the show floor who are demonstrating Indium's low voiding solder paste. So let's say welcome, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Nice to see
so
you as well.
have you got it all set up correctly? Is everything everything ready to go today?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. Maybe you could explain in a bit more detail what's behind the initiative.
Absolutely. The Live at Apex program is a program that through the sharing of materials, we can work with our industry partners to not only provide a surefire material that is going to be used in their process, mm-hmm. which not only eliminates the need for them to go sourcing material, yeah. but also takes the guesswork out of the materials, so they can just focus on the machine and then demonstrating to the customer.
Right. Now, I understand this has been running for a year now, this program already. So these pastes have been optimized on their machines already,
Absolutely.
So that you can help to advise customers who basically are using that equipment.
Yes, we work with them, ahead of time, so they know exactly how the material is going to be used in their machine, and then we provide them with fresh materials when they get here with the show, mm-hmm. so they don't have to then bring it, with them.
Right. Okay, excellent. So if a customer, walk me through how it works. A customer comes to your booth and says, "Well, we're using, we want to use a laser soldering system." So you take them to your partner. Is that how it works?
Exactly. So it actually works in two ways. One, if a customer comes to us and says, "We're interested in using, one of your solder pastes or a flux cord wire, for example," mm-hmm. We can ask them, what kind of machine do you have? And if we're running on that machine here at the show, we can actually take them over and they can demonstrate it live and see how it works. Or if they don't have a machine, we can take them to a couple different machines and say, this is machine A, this is machine B. These are our friends that we work with. They can answer your questions. These are the engineers that we work with on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis with the program. And it works with our potential customers going to the machine manufacturers as well. They go to the machine manufacturer and see our material run on their machine. The machine manufacturer obviously has confidence in the materials already.
Right.
You know, because they are using it here live.
Right.
So it kind of gives the customer a little bit more of a warm and fuzzy. It says, well, we can, and we know that it's going to work with these guys. You know, let's give them a shot.
Excellent. So, is it true that a lot of these low voiding pastes, I mean, it's really just it's the flux medium that's different. That's what creates the low voids.
It's a lot of different things.
Right.
It's a lot of different things. It all depends on, you know, the solvent has a lot to do with it. When the solvent comes off will directly affect where that outgasses during the soldering process. Okay. It also has to do with the activator. You know, with the soldering process, the oxide that is cleansed off the surface is given off as a gas. Right. So that also affects where the voids, you know, are coming from. And then, you know, thirdly, once you get past that into you know, your full reflow process, those chemicals that are in there now may break down, you know, even further, and decompose into a volatile substance, again, causing voids.
Well, Mario, we're excited for you and your new program. I'm sure you've got plenty to go and help get set up today before the show actually physically opens in about another half an hour. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So David, you know, we've got a big program lined up.
We have, yes.
Yeah, so what have we got coming up next?
We have one of our first panel debates. Inspection, yes. And we have more coming throughout the week.
I think we'll do 6 in total throughout the week.
Yes. And of course we've got Keith Bryant's show today and tomorrow at noon, isn't it?
Yeah, 12 o'clock. Yeah. So lots to look forward to, and we hope you're going to continue to join us throughout the day. But for the meantime, this is myself, Trevor Galbraith.
And David Burford, and we'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.